All right, everybody, what's going on? It's Modern Micro, and we're back with another video. Just about a week ago, we made a video about the top five singles that you could personally buy. Some ranging from the $100 range, others ranging from the $5 range. It's a huge spectrum there, but nonetheless, I wanted to talk about sealed product. Right now in the modern day, you will be chasing certain things. It's just how the nature is. Any sort of pullback, similar to the stock market, you just have to chase it. It's pretty insane the kind of bull market that we're in. But nonetheless, it's a bull market and it's gonna, proceed for as long as Pokemon wants it to be. I'll start off with this. I recently got a comment on one of my videos talking about them just wanting to be able to get product at MSRP. Well, something I talked about in that video was the fact that, hey, you know, with the demand that we have for Pokemon products, regardless of what we want, what we desire, the scarcity coming from the demand that is within that set, or just in general for the TCG as a whole, will outpace what Pokemon is printing out for what they have. Um, if Pokemon, it doesn't, it makes sense for Pokemon to really push out, Ascended Heroes and, Destined Rivals, Black Bolt, White Flare, Prismatic. It makes sense for them to pump it out. But how long, how much will they really pump that out before ignoring, the other sets, like, not just are already out right now, but will be out in the future. We have Chaos Rising coming out this week, Perfect Order that came out last month. You have Pitch Black coming out not that far from now, in about a month or two. And then you still have Mega Base, Phantasmal Flames pushing $500 a booster box, right? Where are the reprints if you're looking to get something cheap? What is going to be that change that is going to send something lower? And as much as you want to look for something that's MSRP, will even get to that point. You could get a reprint. We see recently with the Destined Rivals, it had a reprint for the ETB. They were sitting at around 270, 280. They had a reprint now down at $200. That's not MSRP. That's 4x of what MSRP is, of $55, $60. So, or 3x, sorry. But nonetheless, it's like at some point, either, just, I'm not too sure what to say in terms of, how you should approach certain things, but when there's dips, how long is that lived on for? There's only so many big Costco wholesale Sam's Club drops that there can be that will either try to compete or not even change, or that will come out, but there's like 3, 4, 5 times the amount of reprints of little 3-pack blisters, or being thrown into like a Charizard UPC. That's not going to do anything to a Destined Rivals or a Phantasmal Flames, just because it's all just being bundled up in one. You have the Mega Kangaskhan's. I think it comes with like 6 packs, or I think it's like 2 Destined Rivals, 3 Mega, things of that nature, where it's pretty ancillary, or the tins, or anything of that nature. That won't do anything to the products. Those aren't real reprints. What we're really needing is booster boxes to come into vending machines. We need booster boxes to be pumped out, really set the standard for the single packs, and that's just not the case. Again, Phantasmal Flames pushing $500 a booster box. You have Destined Rivals pushing $700 a booster box. When have we ever seen that? Ascended Heroes sealed ETBs are going for $2,000. The sealed case is going for $2,000, and this set has been out for 2, 3 months. So everything is a chase, but if you understand how that works, you won't be left behind. in terms of investing, in terms of a collector. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It really is difficult looking for a car that you like. I remember when I was on the group of wanting to buy the Enzoroark from Ascended Heroes, but it was sitting at above $100, 120, 130 range. And I was like, no, I want to wait. I want to wait. I went to a card show and I just bought it 130, 135. And I was like, okay, I know this is falling. That's fine. There's going to be booster bundles coming out. It doesn't matter. I chased it at this high price and it's sitting at $200. So what I believe, what I feel like should be right doesn't matter. Ultimately, it comes down to how Pokemon is going about it, and they're going about it in the way that they are profiting the best, guys. Unfortunately, that's just a simple truth. You could have so many Mega Embors and Mega Feraligatr, Mega Meganium, little 4-pack gimmicky items, but that won't do anything to the actual market price unless there's a huge pump. Nonetheless, so let's get into the video. It is a dire time right now in the hobby, but it's really exciting for those who are looking to invest for the long term. And that's what I'm ultimately looking for, is something that will hold its value, whether it's now, in 3 months, but definitely in a year, 2 years, 3 years out. Starting off with number one, we're going to go with Paldean Fate's Great Tusk. Honestly, we've seen the recent push in the Paldean Fate's booster bundle sitting at $158. We see the manipulation with the Paldean Fate's ETB sitting at $568, probably closer to around the $500, $450 range. And then the Pokemon Center Paldean Fate's ETB sitting at around $700. I'm not going to talk about that because that is a collector's item. It's in its own world. But if we're talking about straight price per pack, Paldean Fate's booster bundle sitting above $25 for price per pack. Obviously, this Paldean Fate's ETB sitting way above $25. And then you have the Great Tusk here sitting at exactly $20 a pack, right? $22.50 a pack, sorry. This is the best bang for your buck that you're ever going to get for Paldean Fates. Or $20.50 for this. And it's going to be the best bang for your buck that you're going to be able to get in on Paldean Fates. And price targets aside of, what you think this item could do, or, whatever premium it's going to get, none of that matters. What matters is the packs inside and the value that they'll hold. You have the Bobamew and then the Godzard, right? Or the shiny Godzard. Godzard is going to be in the Sword and Shield UPC. I mean, $20 a pack. You could see this eventually getting to the $30-$40 range. I always like to look at Evolving Skies in that regard. One of the biggest hype sets in Pokemon history, as kind of a guideline of, okay, if this is a good set, regardless of what the noise is or what's going on in the hobby, what will this be priced at? Just at a pack basis, sealed basis, and with no premium, just a single pack sitting at $45. All right, guys. That's just a simple truth. Regardless of the hype, regardless of people beating each other up, we know that this is going to be a $45 pack, right? And we know in the future things that will have value, right? This set, really great value, really fun to pull, really fun to rip. Likely going to get to that $45 ballpark. I don't know how soon. I don't know how sudden. We see Destined Rivals running just a year into being printed. We see Ascended Heroes just being 2 months into print. How much that's ran. I don't know how quick it'll get to that point, but $45 a pack, that doesn't seem really all that insane to estimate that Paldean Fates will get to. And that will probably lead to this being about $500 a box. for Paldean Fates. Nonetheless, right now I think these booster bundles still a cool buy as well. You're just going to be paying a little bit more of a premium just in terms of the real market, but ultimately you go to a card shop, you break this down, sell each pack individually, you'll get to a point where you'll be happy regardless of how big this is in storage. Or nonetheless, good buy and hold, the best bang for your buck for Paldean Fates. That's it for number one. Long term, you'll be fine. Surging Sparks booster box. Right. All right. The one of the only booster boxes in the Pokemon vending machines, and as a result, still sitting under $500. Still sitting below its October highs. Guys, Black Bolt White Flare, Destined Rivals, Prismatic Evolutions, every single set in this Scarlet and Vera block. So even damn Crown, is it Stellar Crown, even Stellar Crown, even Twilight Masquerade, all above $300 a booster box, right? All of them above $300 a booster box. Yet, Surging Sparks is $262, and there's actual value in the set. That's not necessarily the best value. I'm not saying it is the best value, but if you want to know something that will hold its value and you're able to sleep at night knowing that you're not going to have a dramatic 20, 30, 40, 50% pullback on it, I mean, Surging Sparks booster box is right there. It wouldn't be ridiculous to say that you're paying $10 a pack for Surging Sparks at by the end of this year, and that's putting a floor on Surging and this box as a whole. I mean, you get 36 packs, $10 a pack, it'll be $360. It's $100 from here. Not necessarily a double, but again, how hard is it to get a double nowadays when nothing's undervalued? So Surging Sparks, I think it's a great purchase. Here, looking long term, booster boxes, regardless of the actual set, unless it's like battle styles or things of that nature, will appreciate in value. If there's some sort of chase that people like, or it is in a set that people are looking to purchase, it's liquid, I mean, it'll grow in value, it'll hold its value, and it'll just ascend from there. 200, just sub 270. If you can get this for 250, 260, I would be a buyer right away. I think it has $300 as a target short term, but then 360 and eventually 400 within the time that the block is getting into its cascading era. So that's Surging Sparks. And then we're gonna go at real value. Prismatic Evolutions booster bundle and surprise box. Look, you're getting 10 packs for $450 of Prismatic Evolutions. I don't know how complicated to make this. I don't really even want to touch on this all that much because I feel like a broken record. I've made almost like 2 videos just exclusively to Prismatic Evolutions and how valuable, just not just the set is, but the outlook on it. Ultimately, we know what we can get. We have a price target. We have something comparable within Evolving Skies and Prismatic Evolutions, respectively. And I think ultimately, the price per pack value within the set is insane. We see Destined Rivals popping off a year into its lifespan. When will Prismatic Evolutions have that opportunity to just have that single pack value? When is it? Is it going to be this year? Is it going to be next year? Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we know for certain that Prismatic will hold its value and it'll appreciate. It'll appreciate just like every other quality set in Pokemon history has. Sitting at $150 for 10 packs. Not that much I can really say other than bargain. When your price target is $45 by the end of this decade, 2030, $45 by 2030, and it could come even sooner. you know, you can sleep well at night. You're fine, and that's not because of the hype. Fuck the hype. It doesn't matter what is going on the outside world. How many people are hating on Pokemon? Look, ultimately, Prismatic Evolutions will speak for itself, and that's very different than what people are looking at when they consider scalpers. When you consider Pokemon and wanting it to hold its own value, what I talked about in the beginning of the video, none of that matters. It'll speak for itself. The set is amazing. What can I say? And so, Prismatic Evolutions, $15 a pack. You don't look any further than that. Now, I know I just went on that tangent talking about value. You are not going to get pack value in this, but you are going to have opportunity of what is going to be the most desirable product in Prismatic Evolution's history, and that's going to be the Prismatic Evolution SPC, right? When we're talking about something that people are going to want to buy and hold just in a collector base, collectors alike, investors alike, people who just like Pokemon in general alike, there's going to be demand for this product, and that demand is going to be absolutely insane when it's actually realized. Look, having highs of $400 before the reprints being announced at Costco and or at Sam's Clubs, that's fine. Sitting right now at $300, that's fine, right? That's completely fine. That's fine. If you want to give me this opportunity to buy the Prismatic SPC at $300, yes, yes, please. I mean, ultimately, you are paying $20 per pack, but what are you getting? You're getting probably the most in-demand item there's out. You're getting 15 Prismatic Evolutions booster packs. I don't think people realize how fucking insane that is. Look, when we talk about Charizard, I don't know if this is gonna come up. There we go. These SPCs. We're gonna talk about the Charizard SPCs. And we consider the packs that are in here. There's Sword and Shield base in here. There's Sword and Shield base in here. And yes, there's Evolving Skies. Yes, it's had its run. I understand that. But regardless of how you feel, regardless of how good these cards are or how good these packs are, this is a $750 box. And it has Lost Origin. It has Fusion Strike, which is on the level of Evolving Skies. Yes, it has Evolving Skies. And it has Sword and Shield base, right? And it's $750 a box. Hold on. Let me just verify that really quick. Sword and Shield Ultra Premium Collection. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. This is $600 a box. This is going to be $600, a little bit under $600. But it doesn't matter. My point is, you're paying 50% for something in the future that is going to have a floor of $600. That you can say confidently, your target for this is going to be $600. Okay. Guys. When we're talking about Evolving Skies being $45 a pack, and you have a collector's item like the Prismatic SPC that's going to have 15 packs of said future results, I mean, it's a no-brainer at $300. It's a no-brainer at $300. It's a no-brainer at $300 when you consider that the pack value alone, your price target, the pack value alone in these packs is going to be sitting at $675 of where the current price of the Charizard Sword and Shield UPC is going to be. I think this is insane. I think this is just the most insane opportunity that you're going to get. And that's not considering the EVEX. It's not considering the deck box, the play mat, the card sleeves. Give me... I almost want to full port this SPC. That's how much confidence I have within it. Going full port, it feels like a no-brainer. And I want to. But there's just so many opportunities within this set that you don't really even within the Pokemon market right now. You don't even have to do that. Everything's a no-brainer when you think long term, and it doesn't matter how much hype there is right now. It doesn't matter. Yes, it's propped up and it's into the masses. CNBC made a whole video about how Pokemon has outpaced the stock market. None of that matters because you're talking about things that are within the past 15 to 20 years. You don't think this has legs of another 5 years when it's already guaranteed 15, 20 years of outpacing the stock market and doing its thing? Now that it's in everybody's possession, everybody knows about it. You think that's gonna slow down? I think it's just gonna amplify it. You're not, your target isn't the stock market anymore. Your target is the best hedge funds. Your target is itself, of outpacing itself. When you look at 30% gains, you don't see that every single day in the market, but you see that every corner that you look in the stock market or in Pokemon. And I think this has legs to do it. I don't want to go out of a limb and say that this is going to be $1,000 box, but in my wholehearted opinion, this is going to be a $1,000 box, and it's just a matter of when, not if. So, nonetheless, guys, that's been my rant about just the market currently as a whole, the outlook, the noise, the MSRP gang. I love y'all because I'm with y'all. I would love to buy Pokemon at MSRP. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Blame Pokemon, blame scalpers, blame everybody but somebody that isn't yourself. Somebody that isn't sitting on the sidelines. Pokemon that is making more money than ever. Blame everybody but yourself. And you'll see how far that gets you. It's been Modern Micro. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Your favorite spreadsheet warrior, your favorite scalper. I've been called a scalper actually on Instagram not that long ago. One of my local card shows did a video of me doing a trade-in and it was for a modern set that I had bought much lower than what it is now, and I was the one being scalped to buy those boxes. Nonetheless, traded them in, and the comments were just on me about it. I mean, they hated me. They hated seeing somebody investing and putting their money towards something that is not just undervalued, but in the future also appreciate. And then trading in for something that in the future I am also more bullish on, this SPC being one of them. So, nonetheless, Modern Micro, your favorite scalper, your favorite spreadsheet warrior. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace out.